The recording has started. All right. And not too shabby, not too shabby. 9:02 for new technology. Woo!
We did it.
All right. So welcome, everybody, and welcome to this month's Wine Writers Wrap-Up. And last month I was slacking. I never got around to doing a Wine Writers Wrap-Up. So this month I thought that we would just continue with the trend of what we were on of talking about wine tasting tips. Now I'm going to go to wine gadgets. So by definition, a gadget is often a small mechanical or electronic device with practical use, but often thought of as a novelty. So now that you have that in your mind, let's do some introductions. So right now, I don't really know why this is happening, but Maria, you are big screen for me. So why don't you introduce yourself first?
All right. Hi, I'm Maria from Wine and Cheese Friday. We pair wines and cheeses and do other wine and cheese focused events. Our most recent cheese that we tried was tonight. It was a lavender cheese.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, super exciting and bizarro, and we're going to have our post about it on Friday. That's why we're Wine and Cheese Friday. Every Friday we have a post. So thank you.
Awesome, awesome. And Nick?
Hi, Nick. I'm Wine Com Guy. I'm also the marketing and PR manager for a winery in Napa Valley, and a WSET diploma student.
Who you're conveniently wearing their shirt.
I was just going to say.
I just walked in the door from work.
All right, Rick?
My name is Rick Dean. I am a blogger at Strong Coffee to Red Wine. In addition to blogging, I host invitation-only private wine tastings for wineries that do not have distribution in the state of South Carolina. And I also do private wine tasting parties for people who just want to learn more about wine. I have one of those coming up on Wednesday. And next Thursday, I have a Napa Valley winery coming in to do a tasting here in Charleston, so that'll be really great. You can follow me on on Strong Coffee to Red Wine on Instagram and at Strong Coffee to Red Wine on Facebook.
Awesome. And Debbie?
I'm Debbie Giaquindo. I'm the Hudson Valley Wine Goddess. I'm a wine blogger, a wine writer. I wrote Tapping the Hudson Valley, day trips and weekend itineraries to the Hudson Valley wine region. I'm co-owner of Happy Bitch Wines. I also am partner in a restaurant in Stone Harbor, New Jersey called Kitchen 330. I'm co-host with Lori for Wine for Bet Street. And if I miss something, I'll catch it up later.
Awesome. And I do see that Michael Kelly just joined us. So, Michael, if you can hear us, you need to turn on your video, which is up on top. It looks like a little next to the YouTube, looking channel thingy. You can turn that on. But in the meantime, I am Lori Budd. I am your host tonight, and I own Gersino Wines with my husband, Michael. We produce Cabernet Franc in Paso Robles, California. And I am also exploring the wine glass, so you can find me on all of the socials as Exploring the Wine Glass. So here we go. And actually, before we get into that, the most important thing of the evening. Here's Michael. Michael, your video is off. So, Maria, Michael, if you are on Chrome, we know you have to be on Chrome in order for this to work. And Maria, where did you find the
The green
I'll find
camera
that.
thing is just to the right of the red phone thing.
Okay. Just to the right of the red phone thing.
But if you don't have Chrome and you do have Brave, it also works on Brave.
I have never even heard of Brave.
I've never heard of Brave.
Brave is a Chromium-based product, so it uses the back engine of Chrome, but it blocks ads automatically and blocks.
Oh.
It does all. It will turn any website that is not SSL certified into an SSL certified site. So it's a lot safer browser to use than Chrome. I mean, in the past 6 weeks, they've blocked like 30,000 ads on my browser.
I use there's a ghost thing. I use that on my phone. It's called Ghost, and I guess it does the same thing.
Well, as a marketer, I don't approve of any of that.
I know, we don't want them blocking our ads.
Hey, Lori.
Yes.
I'm just trying to do it on my phone rather than try to load up Chrome.
Okay, well, we can hear you. We just can't see you.
Okay, so how do I get the video on my phone?
I think if you're going to use your phone, you need to use the app. So you would have to download an app.
Okay.
And you need to use headphones because you've got a serious echo.
Yes.
So do I go? Where's the app to load this down?
Free conference call. I don't know. Just look under apps, free conference call.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Oh, Len joined my Instagram.
Okay. All right. So to the
Hey, Len.
important,
How are you?
to the important thing. What is everybody drinking?
Ooh, me first. I am drinking Hush, the Heritage 2000. So I just was up in Anderson Valley, and they are an incredible producer. Very small, still 3 tastings in their tasting room. It's a blend of Zinfandel, Petite Syrah, and Carignan, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have had their wines before. They are delicious.
They are. I really, really like them.
Yes. Debbie, how about you? What's in your glass?
I have a Montesino. The bottle's downstairs. I left it with Paul. So
That's the end of that bottle.
I have
leave it on the couch. By the time we finish.
There you go. And Rick, what are you drinking?
I am drinking drum roll please, rosé.
No.
Surprise.
Surprise.
And it's the 2018 Ehlers Estate Sylvain Rosé.
Oh, I love Ehlers.
Ehlers is great
So
stuff.
does Rick.
So do I. It's interesting. This wine, is the first wine of the new winemaker at Ehlers. It's markedly different than previous year, but it's got its own unique characteristics that are pretty good.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. And I am in South Africa tonight.
Ooh.
So I am drinking Valera, and this is Down to Earth, and it is a Sauvignon Blanc Semillon blend, and this is courtesy of Alyssa and Ian Wolf at Red Wolf Imports. So they sent this bottle to me because this weekend is a wine pairing weekend chat, and it's South Africa. So when I heard that the topic was South Africa, I went right to them because that's their love, that's their passion. And man, she sent me a great bottle, and this is $15, and it's only 13. Yeah, I know, 13% alcohol. So you can see I've been rather busy at it all night long. I've been a little busy. So with that being said, let's get into gadgets. So,
Am I there? Am I there?
You are still not on video, Michael.
I'm seeing you on video.
You are seeing me?
Yep.
Well, you're still echoing, and it just says video is off. So it's your video. Are you on your phone or are you on your computer?
On my phone.
Okay, I honestly don't know how it works on the phone. You're going to have to, it probably asks for access to your camera.
Yes.
Okay, so you have to give it access to your camera.
Okay. All right. You continue on. I'll use it, and I'll try to go through Chrome.
Okay, and earbuds. Okay, so let's get into gadgets. So first of all, there is a lot of thought process of gadgets. Like, you know, I personally think the term gadgets has a negative connotation to it when it, you know, oh, this is something, you know, I'm just going to waste my money on it. So does anybody use gadgets for wine, and what is your thoughts of what a gadget is for wine?
Well, I mean, I prefer gizmos to gadgets, but
oh, I like gizmos.
Really, I think it's any kind of accessory that helps the experience, whether it's pre, during, or post, you know, opening that bottle.
Okay.
Yeah,
and do you have a favorite gadget?
Me?
Yeah.
The Repour.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. This, I think, falls less under gadget and more under that gizmo because, again, it's not mechanical. It doesn't, you know, per the definition. But the Repour has saved me hundreds of dollars.
It's a good product. It is a very good.
I've never had the opportunity to try a Repour.
Yeah, can you tell us about it? Because I don't know what it is.
Absolutely. So I'm not very scientific, so I don't exactly know how the magic works. But
I do.
So do I.
So you take off the foil and you stick it in the wine bottle, and this will actually keep your wine fresh for months. I actually tested it out at my last winery, and literally a bottle of Pinot Noir was open for 1.5 months, still tasted fresh.
Wow.
And do you pour through it?
No. It just absorbs oxygen. There's whatever is in this little tank. Just sucks up the oxygen and keeps it fresh. And so, you know, for somebody who can't afford a Coravin, or you just want kind of a last-minute thing, this will do it. And the team there is really great. They're extremely inexpensive. I think this box is $12, and there's 4 of them.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right. So.
And the more you buy, the cheaper they get. Mm-hmm. A box of 10 is like $17, I think. They come down to like $1.75.
Really expensive.
And it's a great product.
I have to go get a product. Hold on.
Okay.
So I'll give you a little bit more of the science there. Let's see. There is some chemical compound in the core, in the container. So you never want to lay your bottle down with cork in it, because it will interact with that chemical and it will make your wine taste horrible.
Oh.
But each device is good for an entire bottle of wine. You can once you open your bottle, you pour out a glass, you put the Repour in it. That Repour cap will last until that bottle is gone. Once the bottle is gone, you really want to throw away that or recycle the Repour, because it only has enough chemical compound to absorb about 1,500 milliliters of oxygen. And so you can cap it and cap it again, couple days later, open it again, pour some more, cap it again, and keep doing that until the bottle's gone, and that one repour will last for an entire bottle. So if you want to open up something really nice, or even not so really nice, but I mean it's especially important for a really nice bottle of wine, it can last you for quite a while and just have a glass a night.
Right.
Well, that's exactly the reason that I use it. As you know, a WSET diploma student, you're having to buy lots of wine, and you can't finish them because you want to do multiple tastings of that wine. And so, without buying the Coravin, which I believe in the Coravin, I love it too, but this is the cheapest alternative.
Right. And the way you can think about it is, you know, the desiccants that are in like shoes or whatever, when you buy them, they absorb the moisture. It is exactly the same thing, except instead of absorbing moisture, it is absorbing the oxygen. So it is mostly like herbs. I think, well, they call it their private reserve or whatever they call it in there. But it's just a mixture of compounds, basically. And it just absorbs the oxygen. And so along that lines, because I do like repour, but along those lines, I like this. So this is art, and it basically, instead of pulling out the oxygen, this is the poor man's Coravin. This is what this actually is, because it actually does, like, I'll waste a little. Can you hear that? Right? So what you do is you have the bottle open and you pump this in for like 3 seconds, and it's argon gas, which is, I think it's so clever. It's AR, right? So argon gas. So it's exactly like the Coravin, and argon is very heavy, so it actually pushes down onto top of the wine, and it creates kind of like a blanket over the wine. And then you can use the cork, you can use any type of stopper you want, and it you know, allows that argon gas to blanket the wine. So I like this, and I think this is like $12.
That's a pretty good bottle for $12.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's like 50 wines, 50, you know, shots.
Oh, wow.
You know, so I think it's dirt cheap. So I use it quite frequently. If I'm not going to Coravin something, then I use this.
Well,
I
how do
know
you know you put enough argon in it?
So they actually say count to 2. I count to 3 because I don't want
to bring a lot more than just 2.
Right. I just want to make sure, you know, just make sure. And they don't classify 1, 2, or 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, you know. So I do Mississippi. I do 3. I love you, Nick. You're laughing at me.
I'm laughing with you.
I do 3 Mississippis. But they have nice little directions on the back. But they say 2 seconds, you know, a 2-second count. And then it's really funny because it's, you know, it's air, so, or it's argon, so it's super light. But you can tell you're running out by when the gas starts to get lower. You can actually squeeze the can. Now this is a new one, so I can't squeeze the can at all. So that's how you know. So that I use that.
I haven't tried the one that you were just saying, the Art Wine preserver, but I did a wine chat with the
Ryan?
Creators of it. Yeah, and that was really cool. It seemed like a great idea. I probably wasn't in the U.S. when I did the chat, so I couldn't get any of it. But I have a wine preservation gadget too. Mine is the Vacuvin.
There you go.
And I got it just as a raffle prize in a wine raffle. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a try. And one of the things that everybody does say about it is that you have to have that special cap to put in it. So I do have to pay special attention that I don't like leave a cap in something and then leave the house, or, you know, whatever, where I am traveling. But it does really work. I've definitely found that it helps, and like you were saying with the Repour, Nick, I've had like a bottle of Pinot Noir, I think that was like 3 weeks that I just kept drinking it, and I was like, oh my God, like all you're doing is like pulling the air out and pumping it. So I'm like, how is this bottle still okay? Like we did an entry that we called Savor the Flavor, and I think we used it in every one, but like we were just kind of seeing how long we could make the bottles last, and it was really good. We were definitely impressed by it.
Right. Debbie, do you have any preservation?
I have these, well, I've got a couple things for preservation, but I'm going to go with, trying to see where my thing is. These caps, Capabunga.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Capabunga. Yep. So these fit, I have to grab a bottle. Here, put it on breaking bread. So they fit right on top like this. And you can do anything with, I mean, I know there's a cork still in here, but
right.
You can do anything with them. You can lay them down. There's no leak. I wouldn't say they don't suck the air out or anything. I would say it's good probably for a day or two. Right. But, you know, if you're opening a bottle, you can't finish it that night, and you're going to go back to it the next night, it's definitely well worth it.
Right. See, so I use the Capabunga on top of, that's what I use most of the time when I'm using the art, is I use a Capabunga on.
Do you?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're great.
Yeah, and I do like them because you can lie it down. So that's the one negative I see of the Repour, right, is that depending on your refrigerator, the shelves, because the Repour sticks out of the bottle itself, sometimes it doesn't fit in the refrigerator in the shelf, so you have to manipulate where you put it. And Rick, you're absolutely right, you can't lie it down.
Yeah.
And with the Capabungas, you can lie it down. You can turn it upside down. You could twirl it as a baton. I mean, you know, seriously, it works.
Rick, did you find out that you can't lie it down by experience, or did you read that?
No, I've had many conversations with Tom, the inventor of Repour, because of just the various times I've tried it. I've had a couple bottles that I had a really unique experience with that he couldn't really explain, and nor could I. But regardless of that one experience, I've just used it so many times, and it saved so many bottles of wine that I trust the product and I trust him. And that, I mean, he's gone into, I know you're not a scientist, but I'm going to give you everything I got to kind of tell you what this is. So,
he's a very nice man. I met him in Santa Rosa.
Yeah.
That's where we met him.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So if you guys have other gadgets, please feel free to throw them in as we go. What I did was I just went online and I looked at what the top gadgets were last year.
All right. Well, before you go there, I didn't worry about preservation because I know in our house, very few times do we need it because we're drinking the whole thing. But it's important that it stays chilled if it's a white or a rosé.
There's Michael.
I love my little wine bag.
There you go.
It is a hard PVC plastic. We actually saw these first, and all of the bistros all over Paris and anywhere we went in France, you would sit down and have a bottle of wine. They brought it to your table in this. They would put about this much ice in it and then like a tablespoon of salt and then fill it up to here with water. And it would keep the bottle cold for hours and hours and hours. And literally one bag you could pull through 3 or 4 bottles of wine over the course of a long happy hour, and it would last the whole time. And it's great for picnics and taking it to the beach, because when it's done, you just fold it up flat and put it away.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen them.
And they're really affordable. This is like $10. Get it on Amazon, and
Awesome.
I don't know, it's fun. It's better than having a bucket.
Yeah,
Sure, sure.
takes up a lot less space.
Yeah.
So, Michael, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can. We can. Welcome, welcome. Do you want to do a quick little intro of who you are?
I am computer unsavvy, apparently.
There you are.
So Michael Kelly, California Wines and Wineries. That's HTTPS, California Wines and Wineries. And then I also have on Facebook, California Wines and Wineries blog.
Awesome. So we were just talking about the first gadget was preservation
Right.
system. So Nick had talked about Repour, and pretty much we all agree with that. And I had brought up the Art. Debbie brought up Capabunga, and Maria, the suck thing. I don't know what to call that.
Vacuum bin, yeah.
Vacuum bin. So do you use a preservation system, Michael?
Well, when you go through over 1,600 bottles a year, there is no preservation. It's either you drink it or you pour it down the drain. I know it's one or the other, but we don't. I don't. The actual thing I think was on last year's was the where you pump up the little ball of grapes.
Oh,
and that's what. Yeah, should a rare occurrence happen and we have wine left over, that's what I use, and it works very good. I have not had good luck with Repour.
Oh. Oh, wow. We've all had pretty good experiences.
I was listening to it. And it sounds like I may have to go back and try it again.
Well, you know what? Sometimes those chemicals just don't work. I don't know. I will say that the very first one I used I did not get a good experience. But then after that, they've worked. And
that was from Santa Rosa also. It did not work with the ones that I got at Santa Rosa. And I was kind of disappointed because I was very excited about it. And so we'll see.
Gosh, I was in Santa Rosa. I must have missed them.
He was in the corner. He was in the corner. All right. So the first gadget that was actually one of the top-rated gadgets of last year is something that is called Wine Pearls. So their description is, it's a wine lover's nightmare. You've just come home from a long, hard week at the office and reach for your favorite Pinot, only to find it lukewarm on the side in the kitchen. Aiming to banish tepid wine forever, these wine pearls chill your glass without diluting it. Get to the perfect sipping temperature each time, and then pop them back in the freezer and use them over and over again. Anybody know these wine pearls?
That sounds good in theory, but how quickly I drink, I'd probably choke on one.
If you're in that dire of a need for wine, yeah.
I read that they were dishwasher safe, so I was excited about that because I don't like to wash anything. But with how many places we've been lately that are so hot, I think that would be a good thing for me to have, because no matter if I think the wine is chilled or it's not, it's usually not, and it's usually way hotter than it should be, and I just don't realize it, and then just hope for the best.
So what do you do with these wine pearls? You put it in the glass? Or
Yeah.
does it go around?
Yeah, so they're the same thing basically that you use for hard liquor, the
Stainless steel cocktail cubes.
Like
The stone,
Yeah.
the frozen stone.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You know, I have a set of stainless steel ice cubes, so to speak, that my sister uses for her white wine when she doesn't have it bottle chilled.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of along the same line.
But then there's those things that you could do with the bottle that, you know, you freeze it and you stick it in the bottle.
Like
Yeah,
the-
that's
It's like an ice cube, icicle thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
later.
have one of those. I haven't used it yet, though.
That was a top product too of last year. I don't have an issue with the wine pearls. I do agree. I don't know how big they are, so that would be, you know, I'd be like, oh, is it going to hit my teeth? But, you know, Mom and Dad paid a lot for these teeth. I don't, you know, you know, I don't. Hi, I got chipped tooth. How did you chip your tooth? Wine pearl, you know.
It's $8,000.
You know, so I don't know, but it's got to be, you know, it's better than the ice cubes, I'm sure. You know, you're not diluting it, but I have never seen them.
Here's a question. Okay, so wait, wine pearls are meant to chill the wine, so say the wine's not chilled enough.
Right.
But what about the person that has a chilled wine and asks for ice cubes?
Yeah, I can't.
Two
No.
totally different things. You
They
know,
are.
wine pearls aren't going to go for it.
We're not considering ice cubes wine gadgets.
Right.
We're not
Well, I'm
considering.
saying.
We're not considering people who put ice
wine.
cubes in their wine as wine cubes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see it at the restaurant. I'm like, you want ice for your wine?
Yeah. You know what? Let the people enjoy the wine however they enjoy it. You know, it is what it is. But I don't know. I guess the wine pearls, I guess if you can dishwash them, that's a good thing, you know. Right. I don't know. I just when we do have a gadget to make the wine cold, and we never use it. We received it as a gift. It's this big cooler thing like this, and then the sleeves are in the freezer.
Oh, yeah.
And then you put a little bit of water in it, you plug it in, and you put a timer on it. And I'm like, oh my God, that's just too much effort. Way too much effort.
It definitely seems like
a paper towel, I wet the paper towel, I drain, you know, so that it's damp, and I shove it in the freezer for like less than 10 minutes, and the wine is cold. And honestly, if you can't wait 10 minutes for a glass of wine, we might have to have another conversation.
Oh, you know what we use at the restaurant? I have these wine sleeves, so I keep them in the freezer. And when people come in with a white rosé or a sparkling, I put them over it, and they're frozen.
Right.
So it keeps them cold. Mm-hmm. They're wonderful. And I tell them, they're like, oh, this is great. I said, yeah, it'll keep your wine cold for an hour and a half, and then you've been here too long, so you got to go.
Oh, that's hysterical.
And then one guy this past week is like, you're serious? I'm like, yeah.
I need this table. Get out of my way.
Exactly. Get out of here. But no, they really work, and it's great. And I use them at home. I put them on the wine. We go out on the back deck. We go out into the boat. It's great.
Right. Has anybody used a wine pearl or seen wine pearls? No.
Just when I Googled them today.
When you Googled them. Well, apparently it was the #1 wine gadget of last year, so a lot of people were purchasing them. The #2 wine gadget, freaking things I died, was a pop-up wine glass. So a perfect picnic companion. At only 5 centimeters, so I'm guessing this is in Europe, high, when folded up, this collapsible glass extends to a full size of 16 centimeters. Perfect for either wine or champagne. So it's like a cup.
Collapsible cups.
Collapsible cup. It is a collapsible cup. And it's $7 for this collapsible cup. Yay or nay?
I Googled that too, just so I could see it. I Googled the first two, and that's as far as I got. It looks like it would be a good shape to carry. Like, I'll give it that. Like, it kind of looked like a drum. Like, I was like, okay, well, I don't know, it would fit in your picnic basket or something, but...
It's in your pocket.
But the thing that I was thinking was that it's still a plastic cup, so what's the difference? Like, it's plastic cup or it's a plastic cup. Like, I don't know. I don't think it would improve the taste unless it does because of the shape, but I don't know. I don't know how much it could help it.
On the go.
Out of a collapsible solo cup, basically, just doesn't seem very classic.
Yeah.
I have seen collapsible solo cups. I have seen that. The red solo cup.
That whole concept. And added wine.
Well, yeah.
But drinking out of a collapsible plastic is like being the tallest midget. I mean, what does that mean?
Okay. All right. Although I will say, Debbie, we drank our sparkling that we savored out of the. Oh, nice. We drank the sparkling out of those squishy silicone things.
Yeah, we did.
We did. You know, they have a time and a place. It's not like I'm gonna. If I'm sitting at my
glass.
What?
You don't want to bring glass, and they were like
Cool area.
Yeah, I'm not serving some major wine in them, but
If you want to wear your wine, that's a great glass to do it in because you're going to squeeze it too hard and the wine's going to go everywhere.
I know that was what I questioned, was how sturdy is it if it's collapsible? That just made me nervous.
It was kind of squishy. It's do you want me to go down and get it?
oh no, they're talking about this collapsible squishy one. Yeah.
No, I was actually talking about the silicone one because I had a couple of them, and literally you would hold on to the glass and you would just hold it too tight and it's like
It's like squeezing a grape.
Well, I guess you don't know your own strength there, Rick.
Yeah. How many drinks were you in, Rick?
First bottle, I promise.
First bottle. I don't know. I think they have a time and a place. So in terms of gadget-wise, not the pop-up one. That one looked really cheesy. That reminded me of like the old school like New Year's when I was like 5 years old, and my parents would have the New Year's Eve party with the plastic not flute. I always forget what it's called. The other glass that you drink champagne out of, not the flute, but the coupe. The coupe. They used to have plastic coupes that you had to stick onto the bottom so that they.
Oh yeah.
They still sell them.
I'm sure they do. But that's what it reminded me of, except that it collapsed, and I was like, no. The silicone didn't really. I don't think it helped the wine in any way, but I don't think it imparted any flavor. Plastic to me imparts a flavor.
It was a good vessel to drink in on a boat.
Yes, we savored glass bottles.
We drank out of silicone.
Yes.
Any boat that requires you to drink out of plastic is not a boat that I want to be on.
It was silicone. It was silicone. It wasn't plastic. All right. Okay, this one, I think a lot of people, I think there was a time frame where this was selling off of the shelves. The Venturi wine aerator.
Yeah.
So this, I think this is a different level of gadget there.
What was it called?
The Venturi wine aerator. So,
Kind of like a V.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that does sound familiar.
right? It's like a black thing with and it's got the V in it, and you pour. It sits in the top of you hold it, right?
Hold it.
Oh,
And
okay, I see it.
you pour it into your glass, so it aerates it as it goes into your glass. So
I have. You want me to grab one? I mean, I can grab it.
Does it work? Does it work?
No, yeah, you know, I mean, but if you have a really nice bottle of wine, you're not going to use that. You're going to decant it and do other things with it. You're not going to use that. But if you have a 2 or 3 year old bottle of wine and you just want to just get some air to it, that's not a bad way of doing it. You know, I'll go grab it.
okay.
Although I think that the Airvana.
Oh, do you really?
Well, I have so many aerators that have been given to me, and I'm like, all right, why not?
I had that one given
Can you
to me.
hold that up again there, Nick?
I sure can.
No, keep talking so I can see you.
Airvana.
Oh, okay.
Airvana. There you go.
That looks fancy.
Yeah.
Take it out of the box, Nick. Is it in the box?
It is in the box.
Okay. Because Nick, you know me so well. Let's just look at that thing.
It looks like a sink faucet to me when I'm looking at it on the box.
Yeah.
So you put AA batteries in there.
And then.
Oh, yours has a light. Mine didn't have a light on it.
I got the fancy version.
So you push that button and you hear.
Yeah. Here.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm so immature.
You really are. Shame on you.
Jesus Lord.
Okay, Michael.
Family show.
Okay, so here's the Venturi, and you would pour the wine in here, your glass down here, and it comes with a holder. I don't know how far back I have to get, and then this sits up like this, and you put your glass here, you pour on the top, and it goes into this. And we have a museum of these types of items in the house. This has never been used in probably 5 or 6 years.
See, here's my problem with a lot of these gadgets is where do you store them all? Like, that is huge. Like, that takes up a lot of space.
Well, in that cooler, chiller thing that you were describing, it seemed like it would take up an entire table.
Yeah, it takes up so much space. I mean, your aerator thing doesn't take up as much space, but we got that as a gift. There was a period of time that every gift we ever got was like a wine gadget. But we didn't have the stand. We had, we were the poor men. We had to actually hold it. Yeah. We had to hold it.
Blue bubbles in the wine.
What, Rick?
I said you probably took a straw and blew bubbles in your wine.
Well, that's pretty much what that aerator thing does. It's a straw, and it sucks it up, and it does. Do you think that works, Nick?
I mean, maybe a percentage or two.
Okay.
I mean, it's nice, it's fancy. If you want to add, again, that quick just burst of air. But I rarely even decant wines, and so adding air to wine, I'm like, I'll just swirl my glass.
Right.
Yeah, I have an aerator that goes on top of the bottle that I've been carrying around with me for a year, and I think I used it once, and I was like, I don't need this. Why would I keep carrying this? I don't aerate my wine unless, like you said, you swirl it. That's good. Sure. Unfortunately, I'm not usually drinking anything fancy enough to need to aerate it or decant it. So,
if I'm something on my bottle that I'm going to pour out of, it's going to be my little unicorn.
Yeah.
So, I probably aerate 90 to 95% of the wine.
Really?
That I drink.
You got a stellar cellar.
Yeah, and don't you drink mostly red, or am I only kind of remembering that?
Yeah, mostly red, but I do have some more. I don't decant. I mean, very seldom do I decant. The only ageable Chardonnays I'll decant, but most of it is just, you know, down and dirty. It's hot out. Drink a cold Chardonnay out of the cellar. But that's the other 5 to 10%. All the others are anything over 3 years we decant because it's just been sitting there on its side, stored correctly, blah blah blah. And most of the wines we open right now are 10-year-old wines, typically, that are red. So it does. So I don't know whether. So this device.
I got one of those.
Yeah, and so I take this.
And it filters too.
And it has the filter on the inside, the metal filter. Great. It's called the Royal Selangor, and I put that into a carafe, and that seems to get enough air around it, and then you just slowly pour it from the carafe so you don't get the sediment, and the mesh gets a lot of it out at the same time. But that gives enough air. It seems like it's too violent. The Venturi and some of these others are too violent on the wine, in my opinion.
Yeah, that seems to be more passive. All right. The next one, this is a gadget that I highly believe in. So using a wine thermometer, I use the Kelvin thermometer, which is like a band. I can't show it to you because it's in California and I'm not. But you basically take your bottle and it's like a Fitbit type thing, and you put it here, and it records the temperature. It's got a sensitive thing to it. It records the temperature, and then you put it in the refrigerator. You put your bottle in the refrigerator, and then on your app, it talks to you, and it announces before you put it in the refrigerator, you tell it it's an Albarino or it's a Pinot Noir, or whatever the variety is, and they have a recommended range of what it is. You can either accept that recommended range or you can modify it to how you want it, and then you can go about your own business. And when it reaches the temperature that you've either set or that they declared is the region, you get notified on your phone that the wine is at its perfect temperature. And I love it. I think it's a great thing. Yes, Rick?
With me. I've been very interested in that, but my question about it is it recording the temperature of the wine or is it recording the temperature of the bottle?
So, excellent question. They tell you to put it, I'm such the teacher, right? There's a specific place that they tell you to put it on. So they do not want you to put it on the label. They want you to put it on the glass so that it is closer to recording the temperature of the wine itself versus the bottle. I'm sure there's some discrepancy because it's got to go through the glass, but I'm sure algorithms can figure out how the difference between the glass and the liquid, whatever that is, and I'm sure they figure that, there's something. And it is also a range. And the thing that's I thought was kind of cool was, let's say, 56 degrees. You don't get notified at 56 degrees. You get notified at like 58 degrees because then you take it out, and then when you pour your first glass, it's going to warm up as it's out. So it gives you there's this range, and it notifies you when it's at the top of the range so that as you're sitting out, they're anticipating you're drinking it, and it stays within that range for the entire drinking period.
Can you say what it's called again?
It is called the Kelvin, Kelvin, wine thermometer.
Okay, thanks. Sorry to keep looking down. I'm writing notes.
Yeah. Wouldn't the whiter rosé one that you want it at the coolest end of the range? Because it's going to warm up
Yes.
You wouldn't want it at the top end of the range. You'd want it at the lowest end of the range.
I said it backwards. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. I said it backwards. So it's going to notify you when it gets almost out of the range too cold, so that as it sits and warms up, you're still drinking that entire bottle in its proper range.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's a fantastic thing. But my issue with all gadgets is it goes in a closet. You use it, it goes in a closet, and then I forget I have it. And, you know, I'm drinking my wine. I'm like, damn, I could have used this.
I agree with you, and that I don't know if this is going to come through or not because I can't really walk into the other room, but I have a picture on my phone. Because of all of the gadgets with regard to temperature, you know, whether it be the bag that I showed you that actually does chill a bottle of wine pretty fast if you do the salt and water and all that stuff. But, and then, you know, putting wine in your regular refrigerator that's at 38 degrees, meaning that you have to take wine out before you want to drink it, if you're going to drink it at 45 degrees or 48 degrees or whatever. So the way that Gary and I solved this problem was, instead of worrying about gadgets,
Nope.
here
Right
we
there.
go. Can you see it?
Yep.
That is an apartment-sized refrigerator. And it is full of wine, all rosé and white, set at 48 degrees.
There you go.
So we can, no matter how many bottles we go through in a night, no matter how many people are here, my favorite chilling gadget is an apartment-sized refrigerator.
Well, I've got one of them I can give away. I should probably keep it.
You should, and you should fill it with all of your white and rosé wines because they're
I fill the bottom of my
immediately
fridge
drinkable.
with that.
Right, you created your own wine cellar is basically, you know, you created your white or rosé wine cellar is what you did.
Yeah. It was cheaper than buying a wine fridge.
Absolutely.
Totally cheaper than buying a wine fridge.
And
That seems like a good idea.
Stocked, Rick. It's rather well stocked.
It is. It is. We're already in the 95 to 100 degree range here. We've got to have lots of rosé and white.
Yeah. Welcome to Fresno too.
Yeah.
But so, what do you guys think of? Do you do anything to maintain to know your temperatures? Because I mean, do we all agree that temperature is a major component of making wine?
Absolutely.
And
So, unfortunately, go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, unfortunately, I end up playing the game that we were all saying, oh, it's a white. Okay, it's in the fridge. Okay, take it out. Oh, wait 10 minutes. Okay, yeah, it's probably good. I've never tried using a wine thermometer, temperature, or anything like that to find it out. I know that it's not officially a wine gadget, but I know that the wine glass matters too for the type of wine, and that there's all kinds of discussions about that. But typically I just have a wine glass that I know is a wine glass, and the wine was in the fridge, and I guess maybe it's down and dirty wine tasting. I don't know.
Marie, I highly recommend your own apartment-sized refrigerators for your whites and rosés.
Well,
highly recommend that.
it seems like a great recommendation, but I actually only live somewhere I live somewhere for 2 months and then I go somewhere else. So it'd be a little tricky to bring a refrigerator with me.
Strap it on your back.
Yep.
So Lori, back to your point about the point of the temperature inside versus the temperature outside.
Mm-hmm.
So in my cellar, I have all kinds of devices measuring the bottle probe, the temperature, which is a combination of alcohol and water inside the bottle, as well as sensors that send me email and text if it gets outside of humidity, temperature ranges, and all this kind of stuff. And and then I put my whites down below and my reds up above, and the difference is about 2.5 degrees, and I keep the actual inside. Well, it's 8 foot tall, so that's a spread, and at 2.5. So the bottle probe is in the middle at 55 degrees, so 2.5 is 52, and literally if I take a white out, it's still very drinkable at 52. But we typically just put it in the refrigerator for a half an hour, and we just think about it as just part of the 30 minutes. But depending on what kind of white it is, you know, if it was champagne or just like a rosé, it's fine or something.
Right. Yeah, I think about how did anybody ever drink wine without a phone? I mean, we get notified about so much stuff with our phones. Like, how did anybody be wine lovers without the phone? But yeah, Maria, the Kelvin is something you could take with you.
Right. And that's why I've been taking notes tonight, because I'm like, oh, that sounds like it'd be flat or small or something like that.
It's more like a bracelet. It's more like a bracelet, but they pack it almost like an iPhone. Like, you know how iPhones pack everything so fantastically efficiently?
Right.
So is the Kelvin. You know, but it's more like a bracelet, like a bangle, and you know. But yeah, that's probably the gadget that I like the best. I also have a V-Spin. Do you guys know what a V-Spin is? So a V-Spin is it is basically a auger spinner. So being the microbiologist we used to make, that's how I found these guys. They had a video of it working. It's a platform, and it's got a magnet in the bottom of the platform, and then you take the decanter, and there is a magnetic stir rod. So that's how you make agar, you know, like how you would test microorganisms.
I have one of those.
You know, and you turn it on and it spins and it aerates it. And I love it. It definitely makes a difference. Mike and I went through our little scientific rigmarole thing, and it totally makes a difference. But the thing is, it sits in my closet, and in order for me to use it, I have to take it out of the box. I have to do all that, you know, whatever. But look at V-Spin, and it's a wonderful product. I think it's a fantastic product. But I go back to all of these gadgets, I think, take up space, and I don't use them because I put them in a closet and I forget about them.
Perhaps it's the person, the drinker, finding the gadget that works the best for them and the wines that they drink.
Right. Does anybody keep a gadget out? Like the only thing I keep out is an actual corkscrew.
My Corvan, and I have a one bottle, I don't know what you call it, but it's totally temperature controlled. And it's, you know, like in the Endoceas, when you push and it fills it. I have one of those.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, it's like this little refrigerator. I'd have to go down to my wine room.
The bottle for the, oh, okay.
And you push down. You push down, and it, you know, the wine comes out. It's something I got to review, and they didn't want it fast.
Oh, huh. I know. Maria, any gadgets that you actually keep out and use?
Well, I have something that I wanted to show so we could all laugh tonight. So I actually have a plastic corkscrew. And the reason that I have this is because I travel with my carry-on luggage everywhere I go. And I actually had just, you know, one of these, like a regular plain old wine opener, no big deal. And TSA totally yelled at me because of this blade. And they were like, oh, well, you can go out in the parking lot and break that off if you want, and then bring the rest of it back in and carry that. And I'm like, yeah, it'll cut off my foot. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not going to break a blade off. So I carry this crazy little plastic wine opener that my grandmother gave me because I told her that they took my other one. And she's
There
like,
you
oh, honey, I have a plastic one for you. And their price tag was still on it. It was 40 cents. But, I mean, in a pinch, it is a plastic wine opener that goes through security. And so that is really like the only thing that I ever have that's a wine gadget with me, other than our Vacuum, because I do like that. But
is the actual corkscrew itself, is that plastic or metal?
all of it is plastic, and it makes me very nervous when I use it that it's just going to break in half. But I've definitely used it like 10 times, because most places where I go, they just have a wine opener, so I don't have to worry about it. But then, you know, I can't go travel somewhere and then there's no way to open my wine. Like, how is that going to work? So
I'm assuming you never check luggage.
Not usually, because I don't want to deal with trying to find it when I get where I'm going.
Smart move. We travel with a dishonest butler.
Oh.
So I don't know what, Nick, what's the real term for that? You know, the two-pronged.
The also.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
One of those.
I've seen those.
Yeah, you can't do anything with that. So
how is
Marie,
it?
I'm surprised that they would have told you to just break off the blade, given that on the key style of wine opener, that the corkscrew itself is metal.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like, it's like, oh, well, that's not a problem.
Nice.
Well,
That's
and
like super crazy.
I mean, and they've taken my nail clippers before, so I mean, it just depends on the TSA agent. They just get a little crazy and a little, you know.
Those nail clippers are deadly.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay, watch out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I once tried to go to a bank, rob a bank with a nail clipper, and it didn't work well. So.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
But yeah, they allow ASOs, so that works. And it's not my preferred way to open a bottle. It works on older bottles,
Right.
what it's really for. But it travels, and it's compact. It's flat, Maria.
Right. Exactly.
Easy to pack. Well, we are actually approaching our hour mark, which I always try to stick to. So just before we move on, does anybody have any gadget or anything else that they want to say about their love-hate relationships with wine gadget? What the hell is that?
So this is something I picked up in Italy, and it's great for blind wine tasting. And you put this into the bottle. It goes in. It fills this up. It's 10 milliliters. 10.
I'm not even going to go where that looks like.
Yes, I know. It's called it's a Centellino. It's a Centellino. It fills. So you pour it into here. It fills. Here's your wine bottle. Excuse me. This is the wine bottle. You put this in. It fills this up. You turn it like this. And then, and then it goes out, and everybody gets the same amount of wine to do a tasting.
Huh.
And you can get the same amount of wine for each. You can get 7.5 pourings per bottle for everybody at the same time. And it's kind of tricky to use, but once you get the hang of it, this goes down like this. You pour it in, and it goes. Keep this on. It goes into here, fills up this kind of heart-shaped reservoir. Then you turn the bottle like this, and then you pour it like this, and it comes out into the glass. It's but for blind tastings, everybody gets the same amount of wine, and it's measured as opposed to sitting there, you know, when you're opening a $300-400 bottle of wine, you're saying, well, everybody, you know, got to get right to this level, and you're sitting there measuring it. You can get everybody about the equal pour for a tasting.
All right.
Double the crack pipe after.
That's what I was going.
So that's actually really interesting. What is it called one more time?
It's called the Centellino. I don't know if you can see that up close.
Yeah.
All right. Write that down.
Centellino. We picked it up in we picked it up in Piemonte area.
Okay.
And we use that. That and you know the wine breather carafe where it goes down and it pours out Those are probably the only two things we use on a regular basis. And again, I have a museum. We have a hall closet full of that. Thank goodness it has doors on it. Otherwise, it would all be dust-ridden at this point.
Yeah.
Well, we just use 1 ounce pours. That's it. Just here's a 1 ounce pour. Here's a 1 ounce pour.
And I didn't actually go out and get this gadget, but I am hyped. It was about, you said something about what gadgets you would use or that you totally dislike. And I'm not exactly sure whether you would call this a gadget or not, but they're the filters and drops that take sulfites and tannins out of wine. And I think, well, first of all, you and I were like really good on, or all of us are really good on sulfites, because we know that anybody that says that sulfites give them headaches, they don't know what they're talking about. But the idea of wanting to remove the tannin out of a bottle of wine is destroying the bottle of wine. And I think shame on somebody for coming up with a product that's going to alter the wine.
Wait a second. Somebody at the restaurant gave me this blonde.
Yeah, that's one of the other products.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she came in and I'm like, what is that? And she said, oh, it takes out, the sulfites and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah, what it does is take out the money out of your wallet is what it
and
does.
I'm like, yeah, right. And I'm like, yeah, right. And I'm like, okay, whatever. She said, oh, here, you have to try it. And she gave me one. Obviously, I have yet to try it because it's still in its packaging.
Well, at least that's a filter. This drop it thing is you're putting another liquid into your wine. So
this
talk
says
about
histamines and sulfites.
Histamine. Right.
Take a Claritin.
Yeah,
Right. Wow.
And that's like taking your $200 bottle of wine and making it a $4 Merlot.
Yeah, except I don't think, Michael, I don't think the people who are putting that drop in there are drinking a $200 bottle of, I don't.
No.
I don't think they're drinking quality wine, but wow.
Yeah, I think it separates
How
those
much
that
did
drink
that cost,
wine and
Rick?
wine product.
How much does that cost?
That little bottle is $20.
Like I said.
And it says it treats 110 glasses of wine.
A fool is born every hour.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Every minute, I think.
Every minute. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Wow. All right. Are you guys ready for my favorite part?
All right.
Michael, do you have your pen and paper?
I'm getting it right now.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Here we go. We are many and one. We wave and we drum. We will cover a stair with you everywhere. What are we?
One more time.
We are many and one. We wave and we drum. We will cover a stair with you everywhere. What are we?
Dust.
Actually, good work.
Wave and
Many and one.
We are many and one. We wave and we drum.
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 Yeah.
We will cover a stair with you everywhere.
Oh, what is the
Marching
guards at the
marching band?
the guards at the Buckingham Palace?
Oh my God, you guys are way overthinking it.
So is stair spelled S-T-A-R-E or S-T-A-I-R?
Oh, S-T-A-R-E.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, I was like, I don't know, dirt, dust, what's on the stairs? Carpet? Like.
We are many and one. I don't think that really matters. We wave and we drum. We will cover a stair. We are everywhere. It's the 2-second lines that I think matter. We wave and we drum. We will cover a stair.
And I like hands do that.
Hands.
Oh,
Hands.
There.
He got it.
we need
We need to admit.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but like, we are many and in one.
Right, we're many.
What do you mean we're many? We're jazz and we're not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Check one more for Nick. Jeez.
One more for Nick, even though he didn't know he got it. Hands. And Rick, you're over there. We're waving and we're drumming.
You just wanted to help us.
Maybe. Just a half a point.
All right. So we are at that time and we're going to wrap up. So Rick, right now you're in the big screen, so why don't you start it off? Tell everybody what you want to tell them in 1 minute or less.
Well, I really appreciated you having me on tonight, Lori. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my, what do you call it, is Strong Coffee to Red Wine.
Handle,
there you go. And you can always check out my blog at strongcoffeetoredwine.com.
Awesome. And I can attest he does a wonderful job with wine tasting events. I can attest that.
We had a great time presenting your wines.
Thank you.
People really loved them.
Thank you. Nick?
Yes.
You're up.
So, again, Wine Comm Guy. Wine, C-O-M-M, guy. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I would love to say that I keep my blog up to date, but I don't because I'm usually busy studying. But I always like connecting, so feel free to hit me up on one of those social handles.
Awesome. Debbie?
I'm Debbie Giaquinto, the Hudson Valley Wine Goddess. You can find me at HudsonValleyWineGoddess.com and HV Wine Goddess on Twitter and Instagram, and Hudson Valley Wine Goddess on Facebook, and HV Wine Goddess on YouTube.
Michael?
On a web page, California Wines and Wineries, and on Facebook, a blog. I do keep it up to date, as you probably have seen, Lori, daily postings called California Wines and Wineries blog, and I'm an overachiever on that right now.
You make the rest of us look really bad.
Yeah.
Yes, I always get oh my God, he's written a post. He just was there 2 days ago, and the post is already up. I don't know how he does it. And Maria?
And I'm wineandcheesefriday.com. All of my handles are different, but I actually have them all written down and on my business card. So here you go. Woo! Wine Cheese Fry, Wine and Cheese Friday, Wine Cheese Fry, and my last name for Pinterest. Thank you for having me tonight. It was good to be somewhere where there was internet that worked. And I didn't mention this earlier, but I'm in North Carolina today. And I'll be here until the middle of July. So I'm here for a little bit. We're back in the U.S. for about 6 months.
That's a long time for you.
Do you come ever? Are you going to head south to South Carolina?
When you said that, I was like, ooh, South Carolina, that's not that far. But I'm not sure. I think after we leave here, we're going to Santa Fe, New Mexico. So I think we're going west and not down.
All right. Well, if you ever get this way, we're in Charleston.
Awesome. Thank you.
And he's a great host. Rick is a great host.
We had a good time, didn't we, Debbie?
We did.
Well, his wine fridge looked like something I'd like to visit.
Just be prepared for a lot of rosé.
Yeah, that's okay.
Hey,
I'm all right with that.
Don't you worry about that. The reason why we have our apartment-style fridge filled with whites and rosés is because our 3 wine coolers got filled with red wines.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Anyway, I am I'm Lori. I am your host, and I am. You can find me on the social media channels at Justina Wines and now at Exploring the Wine Glass, which is basically I'm going to separate the two, the winery from the blog and the podcast. So give a listen to my podcast every Monday and read the blog every Wednesday. And thank you all for joining me. Rick, I am waiting with anticipation for your test results. I wish you the best. I'm sure you blew it out of the water. And I was very happy that my 450 some odd cards that I made gave you at least a couple of answers helpful.
Oh, one of them one of your cards totally saved me.
Woo!
It was never brought up in class or anywhere, and I saw your card, and of course it was one of the questions on the exam. And for those of you not aware, I recently took the WSET 2 exam, and I'm waiting for my results to come back. Fingers are crossed.
And I have to say, I'm a little upset that you only have to wait like 2 weeks or 4 weeks, and I had to wait 2 months. What the heck?
I don't know. That's what they told us. Now, it could be 2 months. I don't know. But they told us 2 to 4 weeks is usually their turnaround time.
Nick, I don't know how you do it, man. I don't know how you do it. I want to come and see your little study cards.
Nick, you have been studying for how many years?
Well, he's diploma.
Too damn many. Yeah, no, but yeah, diploma and then hopefully master after.
I'm just going to ride on Nick's coattails and say I'm his buddy.
You are my buddy.
I know.
You don't just have to say it. I mean, it's true.
Hugs. Okay. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for joining. And I will reach out for next month. I do not have a topic, so if you guys have a topic in mind that you would like to discuss, shoot me an email at exploringthewineglass@gmail.com, and I am always open for new topics. And the next time I see you, I will be in California, so I'll be very happy.
California down south.
Yes. Well, not you, Debbie. Debbie, I'll see you loads of times before that. But on this screen, I'll see everybody in California next time.
Hey, and Debbie, I think I'm going to see you in September.
Okay, great. I'll ask Scott to email you with that information.
Wait, are you coming to New York?
I may be coming up to the New York Food and Wine Festival.
For the wine competition. Yeah.
Oh, I'm in California then.
Well, come back.
I'm just going. All right. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you all, and I will see you on the socials. Have a great one.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.